Oh, Royce O'Neal. Ah, yes. Royce. You know, I considered you a friend. I played you 2 nights ago. You know what? You want to know what he did for me? Let's take a look at what Royce O'Neal did 2 slates ago for me. Let's just take a wild look. Royce O'Neal in 24 minutes went for 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist in 24 minutes. You guys want to see what he did tonight up against the Trailblazers with Seth Curry and everyone back? He went for 11 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds in 37 minutes. You want to know who I played tonight? Kevin Durant, the only net to not smash. Royce. Can we talk about this slate tonight? Can we talk about this bullshit? The Pistons. Rolling out a starting lineup. We're all sitting here. We're like, okay. You know, Jalen Duren's going to start. Ivy to the bench. and then what? 30 minutes later, another lineup comes out. Oh no, Bagley or Duren back to the bench. Ivy in the starting lineup. Like, what the fuck is that? What is that? And don't get me started on Greg Popovich. I mean, what the fuck? What even fucking happened tonight? I am just in absolute awe at what happened tonight. So we get Keldon Johnson will play Thursday. And then we get this news. Spurs will start Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Keita Bates-Diop, Sochan, and Jakob Poeltl. So on the Discord and in Patreon, I'm like, everyone, Keldon Johnson is not going to be playing. He is going to be a scratch. So we're all just like, this was like 3 minutes before lock 2, and we're all just scurrying, like trying to figure everything out. It was absolute mayhem. Like, Greg Popovich is the absolute woe. I mean, for a 3-game slate, let alone the slate starting at 10 o'clock at night, being a 3-game slate, the Pistons, Greg Popovich, Royce O'Neal, the amount of bullshit, just what even frickin' happened tonight? Just please, for the love of God, just oh my God. All right, enough of that bullshit. Let's take a look at my lineup from tonight, and I am in just incredible amounts of pain. So the core that I had tonight, obviously, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, Kevin Durant, Domantas Sabonis. That was my core tonight. Just absolutely terrible outside of Harrison Barnes. Just absolutely terrible. I take the L. I take responsibility for the absolute trash plays. All you can do, I'm not going to make excuses for it. Shoot me to the moon because I made terrible decisions today. Well, maybe not terrible decisions, but the outcomes were not good, and I got to be better than that, or try to be better than that. Just terrible night. Then I rounded out my lineup with Alec Burks, Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant was core. Devin Vassell, Keita Bates-Diop, and Jeremy Sochan. So 2 GPP plays that I was one GPP play that I did like today was Jalen Duren, who is absolutely breaking the slate at no ownership. Let's take a look at his stat line. I was extremely high on Jalen Duren today. And he went for 8-9. That's fine. Whatever. He might still be in, but yeah, I like Jalen Duren. Then another GPP play that I liked. Was Malik Monk, who absolutely smashed. I wasn't firing Malik Monk, like I wasn't, telling everyone to jam in Malik Monk, but I think Malik Monk was a play that people didn't know I liked. He absolutely smashed. And then another GPP play I liked was Devin Vassell. He was my favorite Spur. So yeah, that's the look back from tonight. Just bad night for me. Let's go over this NBA slate. So it's a huge slate. I'm not going to be able to go over everyone. I'm not going to be able to go over why I like each player. But if you're from the YouTube side of things, please come over to this to subreddit, DFS Sports subreddit, Reddit/RDF Sports. My username is shook_dash. You can ask me whatever you want. I will always answer your questions. Excuse me, right here. I will answer your questions. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Reddit or you can message me on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. The Discord link, how do I, 45 notifications? Sorry guys, it was just extremely crazy before lock. So sometimes I will miss messages, so you gotta understand that I am answering questions on Reddit, I'm answering questions in Discord. Like when something happens tonight with the Keldon Johnson news, I could miss messages, so just be wary of that. But yeah. If you're interested in the Discord, I'll have a link to that on this, and I'll have a link to that in the comments. So let's go over the slate. So Bam Adebayo questionable, Caleb Martin questionable, Dwayne Dedmon is questionable, but I fully expect him to play. If Bam Adebayo is in, there's not much that stands out to me. Tyler Hero is out, so Max Strus is playable. Caleb Martin himself, if he plays, will be playable, but I'm not going to go out of my way to play any of these guys if Bam Adebayo is in. But if Bam Adebayo is out, that's where things can change. I would like Jimmy Butler quite a bit as a bounce back candidate. No one's going to want to go back. Absolutely nothing would change with Bam out. He would still be a very good play. Good matchup up against Washington, playing huge minutes, going to stuff the stat sheet. Would like Jimmy Butler quite a bit if Bam Adebayo is out. I think Kyle Lowry would be a fine play as well. Just playing huge minutes. These two guys are going to run the show. So I would like both the main guys here for the Miami Heat. Max Strus would be playable, and then if Caleb Martin plays, he played absolutely massive minutes the past two games. So I wouldn't even hate Caleb Martin. He would be a playable value play. Gabe Vincent's getting run. I don't think we need to do it on this slate, but he's a playable value. And then if Bam Adebayo is out, we're going to have to monitor the situation with who they start at center. Last game, they started Jovic at the center position. Kind of pissed because I played him and then he didn't play much in the second half. But if he starts at center again, yes, he is playable. And then if Dwayne Dedmon starts at center, he played 16 minutes off the bench. If Dwayne Dedmon for some reason starts at center, he is going to be a really good value play. So we're going to have to monitor that situation. On the Washington side of things, so not much stands out to me. I don't think I'm going to be going out of my way to play any of these guys in a tough matchup. I will say Denny Avdija, I don't know how to say his last name, has been absolutely phenomenal. And I'm happy for the dude. So if you want to ride this Denny Avdija hot train, I absolutely don't hate it. I really don't. Even with Beal back, I'm fine with it. You know, a guy, he's a good rebounder. He can stuff the stat sheet. He's not even a bad scorer at all. So if you want to ride that Denny hot train, I definitely don't hate it. Outside of that, though, I don't think I'm going to anyone on Washington. On the Charlotte side here, so it's a really tough spot here. Gordon Hayward, Dennis Smith Jr. Are both questionable. Oh, doubtful. Excuse me. Both doubtful. So LaMelo Ball already ruled out. Terry Rozier is just a fine play. You know, even with LaMelo out these past few weeks, he hasn't been too good. Now he has a tough spot up against Cleveland. So I think it's just a fine play. Just in play for GPP. He's not going to be running out of my way to play him. Kelly Oubre has been phenomenal as well, playing huge minutes. Now they're going to be wanting to stop Terry Rozier. So if you think Kelly Oubre continues to shoot 20 plus times a game and has this hot streak, now he's not going to go for a double again, but I'm fine with Oubre. He's been in my player pool every day just because he's been phenomenal and he has a ceiling. So I'm fine with Oubre even at that price tag. Mason Plumlee is a little bit overpriced for me. I prefer PJ Washington to Mason Plumlee. I think PJ Washington has the better matchup here too. So I think PJ is a fine play. And then with everybody going to be out, we're just going to have to monitor the starting lineup. Let me pull up the depth chart. Excuse me. Am I trolling here? Yeah, we're going to have to monitor Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, Mason Plumlee, PJ Washington. Am I missing someone? Guys, I'm having a brain fart here. Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee, Okay, yeah, we're going to monitor starting lineup. There's a number of things they can do. They can throw McDaniels in there. They can throw. I don't think they throw Book Knight in there. But have we had a starting lineup with these guys out? With Dennis Smith Jr., Gordon Hayward, and LaMelo Ball out. I'm completely having a brain fart here. One of you guys, please in the comments, let me know. I'm completely having a brain fart here, but just monitor that situation. So on the Cleveland side, obviously it's a phenomenal spot here. If you want to play Mitchell or Garland in this matchup, I don't mind it, but I think both are priced about right for me. Jared Allen at 6.5K is questionable. If he plays, I really like him. If he is out, then I really like Evan Mobley. We target bigs against Charlotte. No reason to stop now. So if just easy swaps here. If Jared Allen is in, love him. If Jared Allen is out, love Mobley. You can just easy swap there. Kevin Love, I would only consider if Jared Allen is out, but at this price tag, probably only plays around 20 minutes, even if Jared Allen is out. Not in love with it. Karis LeVert, no thank you. They started Lamar Stevens last game, I do believe. Not going to go there. I don't think we need to go there on the slate. And I think that's it for Cleveland on the Milwaukee side of things. So not much. I mean, even with all these guys questionable and Chris Middleton out, even if Drew's out, it's just Giannis for me at the top. And Giannis right now isn't playing big minutes coming back from an injury. So right now he's just a contrarian play for me. So for me, on the Milwaukee side of things, it's just Giannis. And same thing for Philly. It's probably just Joel Embiid for me after coming off a 100 fantasy point game. Went for 59, 11, and 8. 7 blocks, 1 steal in 37 minutes. I mean, the good thing with Embiid right now is that he wasn't doing last year is he's playing absolutely massive minutes, and he's just carrying this team right now. So I like Embiid for GPPs. Now, he might be a little bit over-owned because of this last game, but even in a tough matchup, I still like Embiid. He's just doing everything for the team right now. I think Maxey and Harris are fine contrarian options, but on a huge slate like this, I think they're solely contrarian plays. Not going to get to Melton at that price tag, and PJ Tucker, as you guys know, is a playable value, but I don't think we're going to be playing PJ Tucker on an 11-game slate. On to Orlando. So Wendell Carter Jr. is likely to be back, I do believe. He's probable. Paulo Banchero is out. Marco Fultz out. Cole Anthony out. So Franz, Bubble, both playable, but not going to go out of my way to play either with Wendell Carter Jr. back. Suggs, no thank you. Kiki at this price tag, no thank you. Really nothing for me on the Orlando side. Really nothing. Maybe Wendell Carter Jr. for me, and that's it. It is a good matchup, but I think Mo Bamba, at that price tag, thought it would be a little bit cheaper. So yeah, not much on the Orlando side, and not much on the Chicago side. Like, if you want to take shots on these guys for GPPs, be my guest. Like DeMar, Zach LaVine, Vooch. Be my guest. I actually think Vooch at 7,100 does seem a little bit too cheap, so I kind of do like Vooch for GPPs if he's going to be low owned. Definitely my favorite play on Chicago. AO at 4.3K, I don't think I can do it, but he is a playable value at that price tag. I will say Goran Dragic at 4K has been playing over 20 minutes for the past week or so. He's actually a good point per minute guy. I don't hate Dragic. The slate doesn't have a lot of value on it as it stands, so I actually kind of do like Goran Dragic for GPPs at this price tag. So scratch that. I think Goran Dragic and Vooch are two pretty solid plays. You might think I'm crazy, but I do like both of them for GPPs. They're definitely not optimal plays, but not a lot of value. I think Goran Dragic definitely seems like a pretty good value play to me. So yeah, let's go over OKC. So SGA, I've been extremely high on for the past few slates. This guy is just absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite players to watch in the league. Now he gets a matchup, not the best matchup up against Memphis, but two teams that are going to play fast. Him and Ja are going to go at each other's heads. I don't understand what Draftkings is doing with the price. He should be a 10.5 to 11K player with how well he's playing. Absolutely love SGA tomorrow. I think he stands out as one of the best spin-ups on the slate. Extremely hard to get to Giddey right now. They shut him down last game. They could shut him down again. Can't get there. Same with Poku. It's just really SGA for me, and that's it. On the Memphis side of things, I absolutely love John Morant tomorrow. No Desmond Bane. So John Morant's just going to have to do everything for the team. like the spot against OKC. Gonna play huge minutes as long as this game stays close. I absolutely love John Morant tomorrow. I think Dylan Brooks is a fine play. Gonna play huge minutes. He's gonna shoot the ball 20 plus times. I definitely don't hate that. Jaren Jackson Jr. surprisingly played 25 minutes. That was more than I was expecting him to play. So if we're going to get like an increase in minutes tomorrow and he's going to play like, 28 or 30, I definitely think you can consider him at this price tag just with how good of a point per minute guy he is and with how he stuffs the stat sheet. He went 3 of 14 in 25 minutes and still put up 24 fantasy points. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is that type of guy that has a ceiling, and at 5.6K, if he's going to get a minutes increase, I definitely have interest in Jaren Jackson Jr. tomorrow. Now, with Jaren Jackson Jr. back, I am completely off the value. I will say I do like Steven Adams up against this OKC team. Now, minutes-wise, he'll probably play around 30 minutes. Good rebounder, good defender, double-double upside, so good spot against OKC. I definitely don't hate Steven Adams. I think he's a pretty good value play at that price tag, so let's go on to Indiana. So really good spot up against Houston here. One of the best matchups in the league. I think Tyrese Halliburton makes for one of the best GPP guard spend-ups on the slate. Everyone's going to go Ja. Everyone's going to go SGA. Nobody's going to go to Tyrese Halliburton in one of the best spots in the league. So I really like Tyrese Halliburton for tournaments tomorrow. I think Miles Turner is a solid play. I wish he was cheaper, but I think he's a solid play. It's a good spot against Houston. He's been phenomenal this season. Obviously, we know Miles Turner is a phenomenal defender. Can get you blocks, steals, double-double upside as well. So, yeah. The only thing you have to worry about with Miles Turner is foul trouble. But, yeah, I like both the top two guys here for GPPs. Mainly Halliburton. I wish Turner was a little bit cheaper, but I still think he's a solid play. Mathurin, solely a GPP play. Minutes are kind of all over the place, but it is a good spot, so I'd consider him. I definitely do have interest in Mathurin. And then I don't really think I'm getting to anything else. TJ McConnell had a good game off the bench, but I don't think I can do it. And on to Houston. So Kevin Porter Jr. is questionable. That is interesting. So if he is in, I really like both the Houston guards here. So if he is in, I really like Kevin Porter Jr. I really like Jalen Green. I think this game just is the absolute nuts for both teams. Both teams just play super fast, no defense, nut spot for both sides. I really like Kevin Porter Jr. and I really like Jalen Green for GPPs. You can consider Sengun, but he doesn't have the best of individual matchups. And outside of that, Eric Gordon's a playable value. He'll play, I don't know why they're playing him this much, but he'll play around 30 minutes. He's a fine value. Terry Eason's minutes are kind of all over the place. I don't understand why they're not playing him more, but he's a playable value as well. Same with KJ Martin at 4.3K. KJ Martin will probably play the most, so he's probably the guy that I do prefer. And then if Kevin Porter Jr. is out, fire up all of the Jalen Green. His usage rate is going to be absolutely bonkers. Excuse me, I had to I don't know what that was. Excuse me, but yeah, if Jalen Green's out, or Kevin Porter Jr. is out, Jalen Green's going to have an insane usage rate. He would look phenomenal in this spot. Sengun would be playable, and then we'd have to monitor who they start. They could do a number of things. They could throw Josh Christopher in the starting lineup. If that be the case, he would look phenomenal for value. They could throw Adasha Nix. He's a good point per minute guy. He would be a pretty good value play if they throw him into the starting lineup. They could go Jalen Green at the point and throw like a Terry Eason into the starting lineup and go a little bit bigger. So we're just going to have to monitor that situation. But whoever starts, if Kevin Porter Jr. is out, I think is going to be a pretty good value play. Could start Garrison Matthews, so they could do a number of things. On to Denver. So obviously we know Jokic, Murray is out. Aaron Gordon is questionable. Not the best matchup against Dallas, but we have to consider these guys. So I think Michael Porter Jr. at 6.2K is one of the best plays on the slate. I think Bruce Brown at 5.4K with no Jamal Murray is going to get a ton more run. As we know, he's a really good point per minute guy. I think Bruce Brown looks good. I think Bones Highland looks really, really good. These two guys are going to lead the way with the point guard duties. I think both look really, really good. KCP is playable, and then we have to talk about this big rotation. So DeAndre Jordan played 18, I believe, first half minutes, ended with 26. Not a lot of value on the slate, so I think he might be a little bit over-owned. Not a smash value, but I think he's a fine value. Zeke Naji played 26 minutes. I don't think we're going to get 26 again from him. I think they're kind of going to split the center minutes, so I think they're probably going to do like I think we can expect like around 20 minutes for each. And then I think Jeff Green's going to play around 25 minutes as well. So these three guys, I think, are all firmly in play for value. I think DeAndre Jordan's going to get the most ownership, so maybe you pivot to like Jeff Green or Zeke Naji for GPPs. With how the slate stands right now, there isn't a ton of value. So I think, like, I'm not going to play DeAndre Jordan if he's going to be extremely popular. I'd much rather just go to like Zeke Naji or Jeff Green, but I think he's a good value if he starts. Zeke Naji's fine, Jeff Green's fine. But yeah, have to have a lot of interest in Denver tomorrow. MPJ, Bruce Bones all look really, really good with those guys out. And then on to Dallas. So not a lot of value on the slate right now, but if you can afford Luka, I don't have to tell you why he's a good play. And then with Luka back, everyone's a little bit overpriced for my liking. Tim Hardaway Jr. is still in play for GPPs, but um, I don't think we have to do it. As you guys know, Dorian Finney-Smith always a fine value, going to play huge minutes, but doesn't really have a ceiling. And you kind of want ceiling on a big slate like this. So I don't think I can do it on an 11-game slate, but he is playable. Onto Boston. So like the spot here against the Pelicans, kind of. Malcolm Brogdon is going to be back. Marcus Smart is questionable. We'll go for both ways. If Smart is in, not much stands out to me. I think Jaylen Brown would be fine. Smart himself would be a little bit pricey. I think Al Horford has a good. I don't understand why Al Horford's price hasn't gone up. He's been pretty good. I'm not scared of this matchup either. So I do have interest in Al Horford. Derek White would be out of play with Marcus Smart back. Brogdon at that price tag would be out of play. Pritchard, especially with Brogdon back, is now out of play. So not a lot to like on Boston, especially if Smart is in. If Smart's out, yeah, you can consider Tatum. You can consider Brown. Still would like Horford. Derek White would become a pretty good play at 5.4K. Don't expect 40 fantasy points again, but I don't think he should be like a 5.8 to 6K player with Marcus Smart out. But now you have Malcolm Brogdon coming back, so maybe that is priced about right. If Marcus Smart's out, I'll have to like take a look at projections and see what they have minutes wise for these guys. Maybe I definitely would prefer Brogdon actually if Marcus Smart is out, but I think both would be good plays if Marcus Smart's out. But Pritchard with Brogdon back, probably going to lose minutes, so I wouldn't really go there. On to the Pelicans. So we're going to have to monitor the Zion Williamson news. Obviously, you guys know what to do. If he is in, we just full fade this team. If he is out, then yeah, CJ gonna look good. Brandon Ingram gonna look good. Would really like both. Jonas Valanciunas surprisingly actually played 27 minutes last game. I want to see if Larry Nance got into foul trouble. He did not, so that was kind of a surprise. So if we're gonna get like close to 30 minutes again from Jonas Valanciunas up against Boston, who surprisingly has been bad against opposing bigs, I definitely have interest in Jonas Valanciunas. And then Trey Murphy is going to become a good value play, especially with not a lot of value on the slate with no Zion. Trey Murphy's a guy that's, just he's not going to go for 10 rebounds again. He is pretty scoring reliant, so just be a little bit careful. But he would be a fine value. Herb Jones, kind of like a Dorian Finney-Smith, going to play huge minutes, but more out there for his defense. And then Larry Nance, as you guys know, did lose minutes last game. Usually I know why. I don't know why. So if any of you guys have a reason why he did lose minutes after playing, over 20 minutes pretty much all season backing up Jonas Valanciunas, that would be great. Usually I would have an answer for that, but I don't. And then I'll mention Jose Alvarado. Usually they're going to close with him because he's a good defender, especially if they have a lead. So I don't hate Jose Alvarado for GPPs. On to Phoenix. So Chris Paul is questionable. I fully expect him to be back. I know I've been saying this every day. I didn't think he'd be out this long, but if Chris Paul's in, I think this team's just a full fade for me, outside of Torrey Craig. I think Craig would still be fine. So now if Chris Paul is out, then love Booker, love Payne, Bridges would be fine. I really like Ayton at this price tag up against Utah. Utah is allowing, I believe, the most fantasy points against opposing bigs. I believe it's I know it's top 5, and I don't think the price is high enough for this matchup. So I do really like Ayton regardless if Chris Paul is in or out. And then if Chris Paul is out, I like Torrey Craig too. I think Torrey Craig is a pretty good value play on this slate. You know, he's going to play over 30 minutes, a very good rebounder. So I do like Torrey Craig for value. No, I will not be tracing Dwayne Washington. Oh, that was 2 games ago. So, yeah. Chris Paul's out. Love Booker. Love Payne. Bridges is fine. Love Ayton. I think Craig is a good value play. On to Utah. There's just nothing here. I'm probably not going to chase the Kelly Olynyk game, but he is playable at 5.2K. I would like to congratulate Colin Sexton tomorrow for playing 30 minutes and going for 40 fantasy points. Malik Beasley continues to play over 25 minutes. Can consider him for GPPs, but outside of that, not much else. Knicks at Warriors. So I've been targeting players against the Warriors pretty much all season. So I do like the Knicks tomorrow. I like Randall. I like Brunson. I think RJ's fine. I think point per dollar, I do like Brunson the most. But if you have the money, I do like Randall straight up. But I do like the Knicks tomorrow. I like Randall. I like Brunson. I think the Warriors are just bad defensively. I think it's a really good spot, especially for Randall. So I do like the Knicks. I think Randall looks good at 8.4K. So like both the main guys here. Mitchell Robinson is doubtful, so you're probably going to get Isaiah Hartenstein starting at the 5. Played 22 minutes. God, has he been awful, but I like him as a bounce back candidate here. I think he's an interesting GPP play at absolutely no ownership. Usually this guy is a good fantasy point per minute guy. I don't understand what's going on. So I like Hartenstein for GPPs. And then Cam Reddish playing huge minutes. If you want to go there on a slate with not a lot of value, I definitely don't hate it. Playable for sure. And then Jericho Sims has been the better of the bunch with Hardenstein. You could definitely see him move into the starting lineup, but I think he's playable regardless. He's been much better than Hardenstein. Then on to the Warriors. So Steph Curry, 10.6K. It's been phenomenal, except for when I play him here. But yeah, like Steph for GPPs. Wiggins at 6.6K, going to play huge minutes. Has been bad the past 2 games. I think he's a fine option. Not going to go out of my way to play him. Pool's still overpriced. Draymond at this price tag is fine, but not going to go out of my way to play him either. I think Klay Thompson's my second favorite option on the Warriors, just because he has the second highest ceiling. And then Kevon Looney probably plays, around 20-25 minutes. Playable value. I don't think I'm going to anyone else, though. So I want to take a look at what the Pistons ended with tonight. So, Pistons. Marvin Bagley played 23 minutes but was in foul trouble. Jaden Ivey, 38. Bojan, 35. Sadiq Bey, 32. Killian Hayes, 28. Jalen Duren, 25, but he gained minutes from foul trouble. Alec Burks, 18. Okay, so I think the Pistons look good tomorrow. I really do. It's a really good spot up against the Lakers. I like Jaden Ivey quite a bit at 6.4K. I think that price tag is just too cheap. Love the spot here against the Lakers. I really like Jaden Ivey and the shooting guard position. I even think Bojan at 5.8K is fine. And I even think Sadiq Bey at 5.3K might be a little bit too cheap. So I kind of like the Pistons tomorrow. And I think Marvin Bagley, assuming he starts at the 5, is a pretty good value play. I don't know why he's 4.7K. And Killian Hayes' price went down to 4.6K. I think he looks good. So I like the whole starting 5 for the Detroit tomorrow. It's really disgusting. But I more so like Jaden Ivey, Bagley, and Hayes. I don't really like Bey and Bojan, but I think they are solid. I think they are. Alec Burks, playable off the bench. And then Jalen Duren. I don't know if I'd do it on an 11-game slate, but interesting GPP play. If he gets the minutes, he's going to absolutely smash. So, on to the Lakers. Last team here. LeBron James questionable. Anthony Davis is probable. If LeBron's in, I'm probably just going to stay away from this team. But if LeBron's out, then we're going to have to monitor the starting lineup. Dennis Schroeder is back, so they could do a number of things. I'd assume Dennis Schroeder starts. So if that is the case, if LeBron's out, AD is going to look good. Russell Westbrook, obviously, as you guys know, I would really been going to him every time with LeBron out. Lonnie Walker, they're going to need his offense. I think he'd be a fine play. Dennis Schroeder himself, assuming he starts at the point, would look good for value. And I don't think I'd be going to anyone else with Dennis Schroeder back. So I hope you guys had a good night tonight, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.